Questions or observations?
Okay. So other thing that I have been noticing is when I sit down to inquire about who am
Okay.
I know who am I is, and yet I don't know. Nothing's going on.
Yeah, it's like. Have you read Alice in Wonderland?
Heard of it, but I haven't read it. Never got around to it.
Well, there's a famous scene. There's the book by Lewis Carroll.
Yeah.
Where the caterpillar is sitting on top of the mushroom smoking a hookah, and he asks Alice, "Who are you?" Right?
Yeah.
Which is a really, really difficult question, because if you identify with temporary characteristics or arbitrary characteristics, like you happen to be, from Iceland, and you happen to speak, English, and you happen to be, brought up in a middle-class family or whatever, those obviously can't be the essence of you.
Yeah.
Those are just superficial characteristics. And so Alice had a real problem with that, as I recall. Yeah, so you sit down and you think about it. Excellent. And what do you come up with?
So I can't say I know who am I from my perspective. Again, my perspective. Yeah,
from your birth certificate, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever they say on your birth certificate, but obviously that's not what we mean. So then, what else did you come up with?
So any thought that comes up is not me, because I am aware of those thoughts, and those thoughts comes and go. So anything.
Good, excellent.
Yet I feel like
as far as it goes, let's go ahead.
Yeah, but the moment I talk about it and all, I keep saying I am aware of. I'm aware of this. I'm aware of senses.
Okay, well, let's do it another way. Let's use. I think this could be Eckhart Tolle, or it might be Rupert Spira. I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
But they compare awareness to a movie screen, right?
Yeah.
Or a computer screen.
Yes.
And all kinds of things happen on the movie screen. There could be a tragedy. There could be, a big fire in the movie. A bunch of houses burned down, or it could be a happy love story or whatever. But the screen itself doesn't change according to what's being projected onto it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
And these guys use that as a metaphor.
Yes.
For awareness.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So once you've got that, then it's time to move to the next step, which is, okay, well then what's the projector, if you wanted to look at it that way? Or what is the movie screen standing in place of?
That is really difficult to explain to someone. Like it's like explaining what color red is.
No, not really, because there's no flavors of consciousness. There's no different styles or types or flavors. There's only one taste. This is the way I think even the Hindus and sometimes the Zen people talk about it. One taste to consciousness. Ken Wilber wrote a book called One Taste.
Yeah. I think it's neutrality, because everything's on top of it, like you described.
No, I wouldn't say it's neutral. I'd say it's love, and I'd say it's beauty, and I'd say it's truth, with a capital T, a different kind of deeper truth. So I wouldn't call it neutral. I mean, I suppose you could call it neutral. I don't know. I mean, Jesus called it the kingdom of heaven, right?
Yeah, but this is really interesting. Now I realize whenever you point about love and whenever you bring up the word, it's laden with a lot of assumptions about what love is.
Fair enough. I should say capital L love.
So that's why it's really difficult to say, because when in usual sense you talk about love, there is like goodness, feelings of goodness and other things.
Well, this is beyond goodness or badness.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So okay, so now we're jumping levels of abstraction. If we talk human levels of love, right?
Yeah.
That's something totally different.
Yeah.
That's something dogs can feel and do feel, or that we can feel towards dogs, etc., with affection and all this and that. When you talk about capital L love, which is synonymous with capital C consciousness, or capital G God, or capital T truth, right? We're not talking about the same thing. The only reason I brought it up was because you said it was neutral, and I'm not sure I would call it neutral, and I'm not sure most people would call it neutral.
I would say
it's very difficult to ascribe characteristics to it.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
But if one was to attempt that, you know, it's light, it's beauty, it's love. It's you know, you can't really just add characteristics to it. But let's go back to it. So that now we're talking about metaphors or analogies for you, and you said you're like the movie screen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But you're not a movie screen, so what are you?
I see myself as a movie screen itself, with lots of different modalities of senses.
Okay.
And thoughts that keep coming up and keep.
All right. You could do that. So now, instead of talking about you, what you are actually, you know, in actuality, which is very difficult to speak about, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the world.
Okay.
Tell me about the world, the real world.
The real world is the things that are happening just now, like at present, yet I cannot point towards it because it becomes past and things of concepts.
Is there such a thing as an individual thing that exists inherently? That has its own existence for reals?
No. Theoretically, I know it's not
all right,
possible.
So then we're looking at a world where there's no absolute things. Everything is made up of something else.
So I don't necessarily say everything is made up of everything else. It's just that.
Okay, what do you say? Do you say that?
Everything is.
Now we're not talking about you. We're talking about the world, right?
Yeah. What I'm saying is everything is related to others.
Oh, I'm saying I'm making it stronger than that. I'm saying everything is made up of something else.
So what do you mean by made up of something else? Like,
I'm asking you to name anything in this universe that exists on its own, that's just its own essence.
So again, suppose take for example key. A key of my house. Key of house or anything.
Okay, the key. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you have a key without a house or a lock?
Yes.
No, you can't.
I mean,
it wouldn't be a key. It'd be just a piece of metal with a bunch of jagged edges. In a world without locks, there can't be keys. Right?
Yeah.
So you got to have the locks in order for a key to be a key. Now, is the key made out of brass? Is it made out of steel? Is it made out of aluminum? Right?
But key is not made out of, suppose for example, laptop. Like the way you pointed out, right? Everything is made up of everything else.
Right. So a laptop obviously is just made of a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. So again, I don't know what. That's what I meant when you said everything is made up of everything else. What do you mean by that?
I mean that you cannot name one thing in this universe that exists inherently on its own.
That is absolutely true. That's
Okay, that's absolutely. So we agree on that, right?
Yeah, yet I don't. I know it as a theory,
and yet you walk around in a world that's full of objects and things, and
yeah,
things that. Okay, so but we know that those are just temporary labels, and they aren't really they aren't real, right?
absolutely no, they are not real as such. Those are thoughts on top of senses.
Okay, well, we can talk about thoughts in a bit if you want.
Yeah.
So the question is, when we're not talking about this, we're not talking about the screen now.
Yeah.
We're not talking about you. We're talking about the world, right?
Yes.
Is there a world out there?
As in out there, you mean physically? I don't know. I don't think so. There's no proof of that, and there's no way to know that at all.
Correct. So the whole thing could just be your imagination.
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. So it doesn't look like there's a world out there for obviously because we experience color in our dark skulls.
Yeah.
We hear sounds in our silent skulls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the usual theory is, right?
Yeah.
But that can't be that can't be the real world, right? That's a virtual reality that's created by the brain.
Yeah. Imagining myself as my body and hearing all these things and everything.
Well, you just said there's no world out there. There's just the illusion of a world, what the Buddhists call Maya.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what about your skull? Is that illusory, or is that real?
Even skull is illusory. Everything.
Exactly. Exactly. What about your body?
Even that's an illusory thing.
Okay.
I think.
So now, what can we say about the world?
It's just like I discussed earlier, changing of senses and thoughts.
But let's talk about the senses, right? What are the senses made of?
Okay, so whenever I bring in senses, I do not mean through my body, like just.
Oh, okay. So maybe you don't mean senses, you mean experiences.
Yeah, you could say, but
okay, when you say senses, I think, okay, we've got this frequency, it's going to go to the cornea, it's going to hit the retina, it's going to go from the retina down the optic nerve, and then it's going to go to the visual cortex, and then it's going to be modulated to the midbrain, and going to go to the frontal cortex and stimulate this or that or whatever, or someplace and give the qualia, or the experience of seeing something, right?
Yeah.
But we know that model can't be correct.
Yeah, shit. Sorry for that word.
No. It's very hard to wrap your mind around this reality.
Yeah.
Believe me, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Everything you thought was true is not true. It's Maya. That's what the Buddha taught, right?
Yeah, but again, I was using the wrong word. Senses always implies sense organs and all. That's not what I meant. What I meant was...
Okay, good. So let's just call it experience.
Yeah, but again, experience also has different... Like you can...
Of course it does. The whole everything that appears in the world, or every thought that you have, is a different experience.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say it's a different experience, or you could say it's the same experience, but let's call it different experiences.
No, what I meant by that is there is a difference in what I hear, or the hearing and the visual thing. These are different.
Well, okay. Well, tell me where hearing exists, or tell me where seeing exists. Then
I cannot ever prove that. I have been.
I didn't ask you to prove it. Just give me a viable theory.
I don't know.
Nobody does, frankly.
We
have no idea where qualia occur. We think we know.
Again, I mean,
right? Yeah, and we have a lot of correlates of it. We have many correlates of that in the brain.
Yeah.
And most neuroscientists just kind of ignore, and maybe less now, but they kind of ignore the logical problems, right?
Yeah.
Associated with consciousness. And that's why we haven't made any progress in neuroscience, by the way. But that hasn't always been the case, right? many mind scientists long ago, and even today, understand that our models of the world cannot be correct.
Yeah.
But I want you to know that I understand and I empathize entirely. To substitute that for what the Buddha taught is not easy to do.
Yeah. But that's what I wanted to say. Like, I know this all theoretically, yet I don't like.
It's not in your bones yet, right?
Yeah, I still haven't awakened. I keep reading books and I know what they are talking about, and I don't know. I keep using
Well,
I and
the flower ornament is what will do it, right?
Yeah.
Because, okay, we know how this stuff gets absorbed.
Yes.
It gets absorbed through repetition, frankly.
Yeah, that's what I.
And then finally, you become more used to living in the real world than living in the fake world.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do, even at my work and everywhere else. I just try.
Right, exactly. Good.
Just stay present.
Rome wasn't torn down in a day, right?
Yeah.
And they never did tear down the Colosseum, so,
Not only that, there is this strong compulsion to see the reality, the true reality, because what I realize is to see the true reality, I cannot analyze it. And
yes, you can.
But
you absolutely can.
But the moment you analyze it, the thing that I wanted to see has now become past. Although the analysis itself is happening right now.
There's no. Okay, you seem to think that okay. Now this is going to be harsh. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But how long is the present?
In one way, it's smallest thing. In another way, it is the only thing that's present.
No, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's a mind, something created by the mind also.
Yeah.
Space and time are created by the mind. Now, you know this, right?
Yes.
You know this logically, that as the arrow approaches the target,
yeah,
you basically approach zero distance. Time and distance. Just draw the curve. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Zeno's paradox and all that?
Yeah, Zeno's paradox and all that, but...
So you know it, your mind just doesn't want to believe it.
No, but the problem with that was, there was separation of what is being experienced. When you talk about arrow moving, it had a target, and you calculated distance from the target. So essentially you split up the visual field. What if there is no such split at all? Like, you see everything, no objects as is, without discrimination.
Would you be without time?
Yeah.
Okay, without time and without causality, you're fine. Yeah, I agree. Because an arrow there is an experience of an arrow hitting a target.
Yeah, it's just...
But you cannot derive from that.
Yeah.
Space and time, right?
Yeah, it's thought on top of it.
It's even worse than that when you look at causality, right?
Causality is like, it's objects.
So you see, the truth is not hidden. The truth is not hidden. What it is it's just difficult for people to wrap their minds around.
I mean, truth, even when you're deluded, truth is not hidden. Because
relative truth, yeah, it's hard to wrap your mind around. Gravity is not a force.
Yeah, it's... Again, all this...
But think about the freedom you have once you understand these things. The absolute freedom you have to just dance around the universe, or have the universe dance around you. You know, you can you can just take the universe in your hand and swallow it for all. What's the difference?
I mean...
No, I'm not joking. Think of the freedom.
Yeah.
When you realize that size is totally relative. with a cap. I mean, I don't want to give too many capitals, but with a capital R, right?
Yeah.
Or think about it, when you can freely dance around. I mean, there's as many stars as there are grains of sand on every beach on the planet, right? On planet Earth.
Yeah. Yes.
And when you're comfortable with those numbers, think of the freedom in your contemplations and in your experience of being a human.
Yeah.
Priceless. It's priceless. So, but the thing is, you got to. I mean, I'm an old man, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've been doing this for a while. And it was my first priority in life, once I got my head on straight, which didn't happen that early. I mean, I had intimations, etc., But what I'm saying is that some things take time and effort, but they're worth it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think everything that I do these days, at the end, I realize only knowing what things are will set me apart, because everything else, although it satisfies me for some time,
right? Yes, exactly.
Unsatisfaction.
Yes, that's the nature of the human experience, right? Chronic dissatisfaction. Yeah. Or if there is some satisfaction, it just doesn't last very long.
And I see it in any other task that I do. If I move on to anything, I know, like, I will be dissatisfied.
Because everything's temporary.
Yes.
Except for this.
Yeah,
And then when you discover that neither were you born, nor will you die, and you realize that all this temporary stuff has nothing to do, I mean, it's like going to the picture show, right? Going to see a movie or something.
Yeah.
It comes and it goes. And human life,
yeah,
it just comes and it goes. It's like a sunset. It comes and it's put together by, light and the atmosphere and a planet that's rotating and an observer and a certain distance and a certain time of day, and all this stuff comes together and forms this beautiful sunset. And then the sunset vanishes. It's a very beautiful way to see human life. I mean, you could say dawn too. You could say it whatever you want, but human life just comes and goes, and much more quickly than you imagine.
And what I feel is, it's not personal. Like, it comes and goes. I came out of nothing, or you could say I was maybe a dirt somewhere in some place.
How about this? How about the universe came out of nothing, and you've been here all along?
Yeah.
Do you see the difference?
It's objective reality to subjective.
Yeah, what's the difference?
Because objective doesn't exist. It implies physicality of things. Only thing I know is...
You could say that, or it implies measurement, which is always relative, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
But there's a universe that's not relative. And it's the realm of the enlightened, or the woken ups.
One small question I have.
Good.
Is these days, at least for past few weeks, I am feeling really uneasy. Like, there is something.
Yeah, you and who else?
No, not even because of the things going on in news and all. I try my best not to limit those things.
It's but see, you're still in contact with the noosphere, right?
Oh yeah,
the noosphere is very queasy right now.
Yeah.
So, and you're swimming in it, so don't worry about it, but just know that you are affected also.
My only issue with this is that I sometimes mistake it for being like something wrong with me, something wrong with my body.
Right. Well, just forget that. There's something wrong with there's something wrong with, not wrong, but there's something peculiar about humans. Hairless monkeys walking around with AIs and nuclear bombs and bioweapons and political systems of government that are characterized primarily by corruption and lying to the populace. I mean, remember, where do you think your thoughts come from, by the way?
Everything else, and everything else right now, as well as whatever my ancestors were thinking, everything.
Something like that, yeah. And so you've selected a few of these things.
Yeah.
Out of a million things, you've picked a few to be queasy about. So what are you queasy about? Unless it's too personal.
I'm just queasy about my death. Sometimes I see things and I think I may.
Okay, well then you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
To prepare for your death, which isn't gonna. Well, you'll see that what you're doing is exactly the right thing.
Yeah.
If you're worried about death.
Am I even choosing this consciously, or is this just happening?
Well, everybody's afraid of death.
Yeah.
I mean, animals are afraid of death.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, I'm sorry to report it, but basically we're designed to reproduce, and you know what that involves.
Yeah.
And then die.
Yeah.
I mean, or not die. To survive. And so that's true of every living creature that I know of that's, got the sexual, that uses sexual reproduction.
Yes.
Now, if you don't have sexual reproduction, you could live forever, right? Because you divide, you don't mix with another creature.
Like budding? The way yeasts do.
Yeah, and I think there's some primitive organisms that do exactly that, asexual reproduction. So the price of sexual reproduction is mortality of the individual.
Yeah.
So think about that. Life and death or sex and death are intimately connected.
That's actually a really good thing though. Like, what would be the perception of I would be for people or things that reproduce asexually?
Good. You could think about that too. But don't worry don't worry about that because you're too young to not think about it, but it becomes less. I mean, how do I say this? If you solve the one big problem, you solved all of the problems, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay, so anything else before we stop?
No.
All right, sounds good.
Yes.
Take good care.
Yeah.
Keep the faith, baby. Just keep going.
Yes. Same to you.
All right, ciao.
Thank you.